Well, it's finally fall, officially fall. Weather-wise, not so much. Thank you all for joining us. Good Monday to you. Glad to have you with us on this 23rd day of September. Yes, fall began actually around 3 o'clock or 3:50 in the a.m. And today, a little along those lines weather-wise. Tomorrow, slightly, and one more day, slightly. That's it. We have the 90s in store for us by the time the weekend rolls around. We have very little other shower chances to speak of after very little that we saw today. It was almost an unfamiliar sight to see what was it, nothing more than a mist that I could see on the windshield today. You almost had to stop and think maybe it was the spray coming from someone's windshield washer fluid in front of you. That was about the extent of what I saw while out there. Not enough to do anything, not enough to really measure for a lot of folks. I do have your updated forecast for you, and it is just that. It will go from a little more of a fall-like feel today and tomorrow around 80 degrees, but we are in store for more heat to roll back in for your weekend. So more on that. We have two men in Johnson County under investigation in Johnson County, but also Johnson County officials have been working with those in Kansas after these two men were stopped recently and found to be in possession of more than 50 pounds of marijuana and other drugs. They were arrested by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department since I saw you last, so I'll tell you about that, a shoplifting arrest here in Sayersville. Won't take long to get caught up on scores from this past Friday night because, like I told you on Friday evening, not many people playing teams that wise, at least in McGoffin and Johnson County. But that and a host of other news and information before I leave you for the end of this Monday. And man, has it ever been Monday for some folks. First off, we're coming into the first day of fall, and Central Kentucky, specifically in the Lexington area, Fayette County, reporting their first confirmed case of flu. So there, we've got that to look forward to on this Monday. But some other folks have had some much more serious things to worry about as well. I still haven't heard the cause. I'm not even sure if they have one as of yet. But I know that a hazmat team had to be called into the Martin County Sheriff's Department earlier today. They described the odor so strong, so pungent that people were literally having a burning sensation in their eyes, their throats. One woman passed out as a result while being taken to the hospital. The odor was actually something they had a faint whiff of this past Friday. They thought it was coming from the vents. I have received no word as of yet as to what it was, but what a way to start off their week. And speaking on that note, patients going to the UK healthcare, actually any of the UK hospitals, the Chandler Hospital, the Children's Hospital, or the UK Good Samaritan Hospital, well, they couldn't be admitted due to a computer problem. UK was still taking in trauma patients. I want to stress that. However, due to a computer glitch this Monday, they were unable to take in patients that were coming via anyone that wasn't coming via EMS. They were being taken to other hospitals, and they were hoping to have that situation resolved. In another note, a class action lawsuit says the Associated Press was filed late last Friday on behalf of several individuals who lost their disability benefits through the Eric C. Kahn fiasco. It was filed Friday, and this suit aims to revive the cases and benefits of about 500 people who most likely gave up their legal fight after the government began revoking their benefits, of course, after the investigation into Kahn some 4 years ago now. Can you believe that? A federal appeals court decision earlier this year restored benefits for about 300 of those former clients, but these 500 are now part of this class action lawsuit. Many of them gave up on their appeals just because of the lengthy process, it says their attorney, but are deserving of those benefits to be restored. Well, I do it every month. Our friend Carol Hall brings us and reminds us routinely, I don't want to say relentlessly because that would be going too far, but anytime there is a blood drive, and she herself has, I've forgotten the gallons of blood that she has donated, and I think we spoke of that sometime back a few years ago when it was already at a monumental amount. Anyway, so we have the community blood drive this year in McGoffin County every month, and of course the Kentucky Blood Center Bloodmobile is going all over eastern Kentucky, and I always tell you about you could be entered to win. Well, I don't have a picture as of yet. That will be made available tomorrow, but here for this most recent promotion, they were giving away a brand new Toyota truck, and a Morehead State University student will get her new Toyota Tacoma tomorrow down in front of ADUC. I know that her name is Annie Smith. I know she's a junior majoring in international studies, and that she donated at the Kentucky Blood Center's drive on Morehead State University's campus just this past month in August. That's really about all I know about her, except that she gets her new Toyota Tacoma truck tomorrow on campus. And I also know that she has donated, per the Morehead News, she's donated blood several times in her hometown of Middleton, Ohio. But the August donation on her campus was the first for the Kentucky Blood Center. Those 18 and older who are registered to give blood with the Kentucky Blood Center May the 31st through September the 6th were automatically entered into that drawing. That's why you can save a life and you can win a very cool prize, just like Miss Annie Smith is tomorrow, getting her new Toyota truck courtesy of the Kentucky Blood Center. I'll be right back. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Salyersville. 349-8785. We have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dipped breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it and grab a cookie while you're there. At your Salyersville Lee's famous recipe, where even our ice is famous. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
2 Johnson County men under investigation, not just by authorities in Johnson County either, but authorities here in the area have been talking to authorities in another part of the nation after these 2 men were found with more than 50 pounds of marijuana and other drugs, but allowed to continue on their trek back to eastern Kentucky. It rolls into an investigation that was already started into drug trafficking by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. This is what I've been able to find out thus far. Officers still citing an ongoing investigation, but saying that Johnson County Sheriff Doug Saylor and his department have been working a case involving the trafficking of marijuana, methamphetamine, and other drugs in Johnson County for quite some time as it relates to 2 men who were stopped in Kansas just days ago, but made their way back to Johnson County without the large quantity of drugs that they had with the intent to bring back into Johnson County. The investigation right now is being headed by James Tabor of the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. He arrested 2 men from Johnson County very early Sunday morning at around 3:45 when 2 search warrants were executed at 2 separate Johnson County residences, that of James Buck Sherman and Johnny Sizemore. They had been stopped in Kansas and were said to have been found, says the Kansas State Police, with a total of 51 pounds of marijuana and 2.5 pounds of THC wax. Now, they were released with charges pending by Kansas State Police or authorities in the county that they were stopped. And through working together, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department and the Kansas State Police, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department was able to get enough information to obtain search warrants for both of the men's homes. Sherman's house on Lively Lane and Johnny Sizemore's in Grassy in Staffordsville. At Sherman's residence, they found a large quantity of drugs, a significant amount of marijuana, over 8 ounces but less than 5 pounds, methamphetamine, cash, several firearms, which Sherman was not permitted to have as he is a convicted felon. They also found a small quantity of marijuana and cash at Sizemore's residence, and both men were jailed on various charges and placed in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. Sherman so far is facing charges of trafficking in meth, trafficking in marijuana under 5 pounds, being a convicted felon with a firearm, 5 separate counts, and possession of drug paraphernalia. These are just the Johnson County charges. While Johnny L. Sizemore, 29, of Staffordsville, was shown to have been arrested and charged with trafficking in marijuana, and the jail records also show him charged with 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor, unlawful transaction with a minor, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Johnson County Sheriff's Department officials stress that the investigation is still ongoing. Another arrest making headlines from over the weekend here in Sagersville, a shoplifting arrest that also netted other charges against a man who was trying to break into or get into several vehicles in the parking lot of a Sagersville business before being stopped by Sagersville police across the way. The arrest goes back to late last week when the Sagersville Police Department got a call around 4:30 Thursday afternoon about a man who was under the influence and trying to get in vehicles in the parking lot of the Rite Aid that didn't belong to him. He tried to get into several different vehicles, then walked across Parkway Drive over to the IGA parking lot. Upon arrival of Officer Jeremiah Watson, he found Jesse Russell, 46, of Sagersville, outside and very unsteady on his feet. He also failed field sobriety tests that were given by the officer, and during the search of his person, after being placed in handcuffs, the officer says that he found 2 boxes of frozen Hot Pockets, 2 new pairs of gloves, a bottle of aftershave, and light bulbs, all stuffed in his pants. The value of about $12.76, which he believes was shoplifted from the Dollar General store. He also found a silver, shiny medicine container that inside had a small quantity of Xanax and Valium, with Russell telling the officer that he had taken a third and different kind of drug about a half an hour before he was arrested. He was charged with public intoxication of drugs, possession in a third improper container, and theft by unlawful taking for the shoplifting. And a new week means a new community calendar. I've only got a couple of announcements, but important ones nonetheless, brought to you each and every weeknight by your McGoffin Farm Bureau agent, Doug Green. The first one is an important notice about an important meeting for the McGoffin County Youth Baseball and Softball Organization. They're going to wrap up the year of 2019 at their annual end-of-the-year meeting a week from tonight. That's next Monday, 6 o'clock. They'll meet in the McGoffin County Courthouse in the McGoffin County Fiscal Courtroom. This meeting will include board member selection as well as any other discussion the board may conduct. That is once again next Monday. And a reminder that coming up, it's going to be here pretty soon. It's hard to imagine, but October bearing down on us. But nevertheless, the Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 15 of Sagersville, wants to extend a heartfelt invitation to all McGoffin County and all surrounding county veterans, whether you are a member of the DAV 15 chapter or not. They want you to attend their regular meeting October the 3rd in the back of the community center. They welcome new members with new ideas to improve and support our communities, and they also want to remind everyone and thank everyone about the continued support for Chapter 15. Also important, the Prestonsburg VA Clinic is giving flu shots starting at 5 o'clock that evening. If you have any questions, call 422-4983. Once again, October the 3rd, I'll remind you here in a couple of days. And right now, the nightly reminder I share with you, and that's how you get announcements, including birthdays and anniversaries on the show. Turning to service announcements tonight, we have 2 funeral service announcements. First, a reminder that 18-year-old Lindsay Page, trustee of Sagersville, who passed away on the 18th, will be laid to rest following services that begin in her honor tomorrow morning at 11. Lindsay is survived by a brother, Tegan Bailey, and sisters Sydney Hale, Haley Trusty, and Chloe Bailey. She was the daughter of Arlie Trusty and Crystal and David Bailey, and visitation is the rest of this evening and prior to tomorrow morning's services that start again at 11 o'clock at the Sagersville Funeral Home. And 50-year-old Stephen Cottle of Cottle Hollow Road passed away over the weekend, the son of Marcus and Connie Borders Cottle. Besides his parents, he's survived by a daughter, Chloe Grace Cottle, and brothers Kevin, Brian, and Aaron. Graveside services are going to be held tomorrow at 1 from the Elsie Conley Cemetery at Falcon under the direction of the Magoffin County Funeral Home. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sagersville, 349 Pawn. You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles, but hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville. Just a few more topics of discussion before I leave you for the first day of programming this week, and one is football and the other is weather. As for the football note, it won't take long to go through that. We had 2 out of 3 teams in Magoffin and Johnson County off this past Friday, but everybody's back on the gridiron this Friday at home or on the road. So just a brief update's all it's going to take. As the Hornets were off last week, they're still sitting at 2-2, and they're still looking down the barrel of Betsy Lane this Friday. 36-28 was their last score a week ago this past Friday against Betsy Lane. That was a road game, and they've got 2 more road games, including this Friday night at Belfry and next Friday night at Lawrence County before they come back home on October the 11th. Once again, the Hornets traveling to Belfry this Friday night for their 5th game of the season, and that, of course, will put them at the midway point. Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles were the only team playing out of Johnson and Magoffin last Friday night, and they were hosting Bishop Sycamore out of Columbus, Ohio at home, and they sent Bishop Sycamore back with 8 points and kept 34 for the home team. Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles sitting on a 4-0 start thus far, nothing unusual there. They're also looking at 2 home games in a row for this coming Friday night, hosting Simon Kenton, and then October the 4th, hosting Clay County. And wrapping it up real quickly, Paintsville and the Tigers still sitting at a 3-1 record after being off last week. They will be on the road this weekend at Hazard. They'll be on the road the week after that at Union. That's in Virginia. And the week after that at Fairview. They'll be back home on October the 18th hosting Betsy Lane for a 3-game home stretch that will wrap up the regular season for the Tigers. And weather-wise, there's not been much happening. It was more impressive on the radar than it was in real time and conditions. Nothing more than a slight mist, a few sprinkles for some folks, I think, at best, and not enough to add up to much. And we've got one more chance of some showers in your forecast, and I don't think it will be as great of a chance as we had with today's cold front. And you're not going to find much more precipitation than that in the forecast. Maybe not even as much, as light as that has been. And that's about as light as you can get it. We'll start with tonight's outlook with a low of 55 degrees. Definitely a cooler evening out there tonight, and definitely tomorrow night. Cloudy skies are going to be slow to clear, but they are going to clear the rest of the evening with a westerly wind around 6 miles per hour or so, becoming calm later on after midnight or so. For your Tuesday, we'll top out right around 80, and tomorrow night's low in the upper 40s, but it's going to be sunny, mostly clear. All remnants of what little shower activity we saw are gone, just a little bit cooler, and then we'll see temperatures hit the mid-80s and rebound by midweek. A little patchy fog in the AM, otherwise sunny and 85 for your Wednesday. Still dry and nice and partly cloudy, and 56 Wednesday night. Thursday is that other and only chance of showers that we have to talk about, and that is a brief one. Thursday looks to be partly sunny. We'll see temperatures fall back down to 80. That's the last time they're going to do that in the forecast. We'll see partly sunny skies Thursday and a 20% chance of some showers, very sparse, before 2 o'clock on your Thursday. And after that, it's back to the same old, 57, partly cloudy Thursday night. And then we climb back to summer. 88 after some fog. Friday morning, and sunny and partly cloudy, a really nice summer-like Friday for the first Friday of fall. Saturday, 89, fog and sunshine and partly cloudy. Sound familiar? And check out the last half of your weekend and the first of your work week. We're going to see 90 degrees roll back into town. It's going to be hot. It's going to be sunny, and it's going to be dry for who knows how many more days. It's going to wrap it up for our first go at it for this week. Hope to see you back here tomorrow for the next one. Thank you for watching, and good night.